Welcome back to Fiercely Unfiltered. I'm your host, Kelly Renee, and today I want to talk about my time in the military. If you are someone who is just getting out of high school or have a kid who's getting out of high school or is out of high school and doesn't know what they want to do, doesn't have a passion for anything yet, instead of just going to school for 4 years to figure it out, join the military. It was an amazing experience for me. I got to do a lot of things that I would never have been able to do as a civilian that are some of the best memories I have. And some of the proudest moments I have were those in the military. I joined when I was 19 years old. Um, the reasons I joined, I wasn't passionate about anything. I didn't like school. It wasn't for me. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to do something. I wanted to do more than just go to school to figure it out or get a job and figure it out. I wanted to feel like I was contributing while I was figuring it. So I joined the military, went to a MEP station and told them we wanted to be gone within 30 days. And if you didn't know, they actually have a buddy system in the military. Me and my friend went into the MEP station together. We got to go to basic together, AIT, and our first duty station was all guaranteed to be together if you join on the buddy program. So that's a great thing if you and your friend wanted to do it together. So we joined on the buddy program. A couple things that's crazy about when I'm looking back. When I joined the military, before we went to basic, we had to go through this little line to get stuff done. And they said, do a push-up. And I couldn't do one push-up. And I couldn't do a push-up. And because I couldn't do a push-up, I was going to have to go to like a special 2-week training camp to learn how to do push-ups because you have to do push-ups in the military. But because my AIT, which is the school I went to for the job I was going to have, was one of the longest ones, it was about 5 months, that I didn't have time to go to a 2-week school because I would have had to wait like 6 months for the next school to open for me. So I lucked out. I got to go through without doing a push-up. But within the first year, I maxed out my PE test. I did more push-ups than I was required to. So I just never had to use those muscles. I never was someone that worked out. I just stayed active. So that was crazy about the military. But I wanted to go over a couple things that I got to experience in the military, like shooting an M16, shooting an M4. I can take those apart down to the firing pin, clean it, and put it back together, which is a cool skill. I haven't done it in a while, but maybe it's like riding a bike. Maybe if I had a couple hours, I'd be able to figure it out again. But I thought that was pretty cool. I got to throw live grenades. We actually had to go into a gas chamber. And when you go into the gas chamber, you go in with your mask on, and then they make you take it off when you're in there. So you could feel what it feels like. And then you have to put your mask back on and seal it again. And then breathe and understand that you seal your mask properly, you can be in that kind of environment and it not affect you. So, I mean, that was crazy. My eyes were watering, snot coming out of your nose. It's just crazy that you put yourself through that. But looking back at it, it was pretty cool that you did it. We also had to do like 20 Ks. I think that's 12.5 miles with 35 pounds in our rucksacks. And males, females, it didn't matter if it was a little tiny female or a big male. We all had the same weight in our backpacks or our rucksacks. And they weighed them before you left. And then they weighed them when you got back. So you can't have your water bottles in there, then drink all your water and the weight go down. You have to have 35 pounds when you get back too. So that's something else. And then also, when you're training, you have bayonets, and the bayonets go on the end of your M16. And when we trained, we had to run with those and we had to stab tires. It was like people made out of tires. And they made us chant blood, blood, blood makes the green grass grow over and over again. And it was just, I mean, you put yourself in that moment, you're training for a situation where you're not stabbing tires, you're stabbing people. Never hoped I would actually have to go to war. I know I was in the military training to go. That was my job. I was communications. So we were the support for the people actually in the field fighting. So my job was going to the field for 30 days at a time. We took field showers. We got an opportunity. They set up a shower in the field. You got to go every once so often and you're all taking showers together. Females had an hour, males had their time to go. but it's just a crazy life like that. And when you're in the field, you're practicing like that, you're at war. People are coming around trying to steal your weapons to see if you're protecting them. We actually have little e-tools, they're like little shovels. We have to go out to our site, get it ready, and you have to dig a foxhole. And the foxhole is as deep as you are, so you and another partner can stand in it and watch guard at night. And we had to do that. We had to dig our own foxholes, and we had to stand there for 24 hours if it was our time in the middle of the night, just and our job was to sit there and watch to be attacked and wait for people to come and train us on being attacked. So it was a crazy situation looking back, but it was also pretty awesome. Pretty awesome that I got to train like that and I never had to put it in place. When I was in the military, actually, I was in during September 11th, 2001. And I was also there in 2003 when all that went down. And my company did get stop loss. I think it was George Bush at the time put a stop loss in where certain battalions couldn't get out of the military if they were about to get out. And I was getting out at the end of 2003. And I believe in the beginning of 2003, he implemented a stop loss, but then they reversed it. And then for the whole year while I was about to get out, it was like the threat of he's going to do another stop loss, which would mean like I could be 5 days from getting out and they ordered a stop loss. I would stop. I wouldn't be able to get out and I would be in. And my company actually, or my battalion actually ended up going in 2004 for 18 months. And I actually got out, I think a week before that stop loss was put into place. So I thank God every day for that because I had enough leave and stuff that I didn't take saved up that just the timing worked out. Like I could have had 5 less days and I wouldn't have got out when I did. That would have been horrible. I had 2 small kids and that wasn't what I wanted to do at the time. But at 19, I made the decision to go in the military. And at 47 now, it was the best decision I made. Like I'd done a lot of stuff since the military, but none of it left an impression like this did. I did airborne school. I jumped out of airplanes with 82nd Airborne. When you jump out of planes, you have your rifle on you, you have your rucksack, you jump out, you deploy it all, and you go and you get in the front prone position and you sit there and you guys act like you just jumped into war. That's what it's all about is practicing and training to go to war so you're ready when you go. And that's what we did. I spent 7 years of my life there training to go and I never went. And that's not a disappointment. I'm glad I never went. I always said if I did go, I don't know how I would have handled it. Like you train for it and stuff, but being in the situation, I'm just glad I've never had experience. And every veteran that did experience that, like I have such respect for you. I know we all joined thinking that's what could happen, but a lot of us, that isn't what happened. But a lot of soldiers went. I have female friends that went a couple times. So I give kudos to you guys. I think we should support our veterans more now than we do. And actually on Sunday, on March 30th, I'm actually going to be honored for Hero of the Night at the Ontario Reigns game. So I dress up in my uniform. I go out on the ice. I get to salute the flag during the national anthem. And they give a little brief on me and I get honored for being in the military. And it is a great feeling for everyone to take the time to thank you for doing that because you don't really get that all the time. So it's nice to be recognized. And I also want to be an example for females or little girls that being in the military is something to be proud about. And it's a great option. And it's something that people should dress up for Halloween and grow up wanting to be that. So I think if anyone has ever thought about joining the military, this is your sign to do it. It's a great experience. The time will pass anyways. You go in there and like they take care of everything. Your food, your medical, your dental. You don't worry about any of that. You just train and make yourself better. And if the country needs you to go fight, you do. But a lot of the time you don't have to go. So there's a lot of things like I was on burial detail. I was female, so I got to do certain things like that because they needed females to do it. But It was a burial team, and we practiced for months, and we drove all over the East Coast burying soldiers who got that honor. And I practiced, we did the 3 volley salute where there were 7 of us, and we practiced make it perfect so we are in unison when we did that. And I tell you what, I've never felt more of an honor to be performing that ceremony at someone's funeral. Like, that's a very memorable time for everybody in that family, and to be able to honor them and take the pride in what we were doing was something that I'll hold with me forever, and it was one of the most emotional parts of my time in the military, and one of the ones I'm most proud about. Um, the military is also a great place because it's very structured in a way where you have ranks, and they have very specific guidelines on what you need to do to get to the next rank. So, I actually made every rank there was in the shortest time possible. I went down that list because the higher ranking you were, the less people you had to explain yourself, justify yourself to, or try and convince that this is the way we should do it. So I tried to make the rank as fast as I can, and I did. And what was great about it also was it wasn't like someone has to like you to get promoted. You actually do the checklist, you get it done, and then you go to a board. There's like 10, 12 superiors all sitting there, and you're sitting in a chair in front of all of them, and they just fire questions at you, make you do movements, maybe stand up, do a left face, about face, check your uniform out, and just kind of grill you. And then they all vote, and they all put scores together, and that determines if you get a move on. And then if you pass that step, you have to go to a school. And to be a sergeant or a staff sergeant, there are certain schools you go. And at those schools, you have people from bases all over the world all coming to one place to train. And that's something you have to do before you become a sergeant or a staff sergeant. And that was also a great experience. And at that school, they pick people to be like student first sergeants, like people in charge that run the whole thing because you're going there to learn how to lead. Right. So I think it was 5 or 6 people that were picked, and each one did it for 3 or 4 days, and I was picked to be one of them, which was also a very crazy experience. Like, I think there was 1,000, close to 1,000 soldiers all in formation, and I would be the acting student first sergeant. So I'd be standing there yelling commands to get everyone in attention and stuff. And I have people months later being like, "You were the one, because my voice trying to be loud." But, you just got to do it. Just go all in and don't give a shit what other people say. I did a great job. I made it. I got my rank. So I just think that the military is a place where you can go and you learn confidence. You learn how to work as a team. You learn that there's certain things you just do because you have to. And you also, your feelings aren't always the number one thing. Sometimes the mission's first. Sometimes the job needs to get done no matter how any of you feel. I mean, like in the military, when I was in basic training, I shared a room with 60 females, an open bay on bunk beds. I mean, I can't even sleep with a TV on. So when you're in certain situations, like you just have to do it. I don't know how I got through that. And when you're in basic training with 60 females, we all shared a bathroom. I think there were 8 showers in an open shower. And we all had, I think, 45 minutes to get into our uniforms and stuff after PT. So there'd be like 60 of us in that bathroom. And we'd have like 8 people soaping up while 8 other people were rinsing off. And you couldn't even stand under water while you were soaping up. There wasn't time. So you have no privacy. It's all about the mission. Like, if you ever thought you'd be taking a shower with 60 females because you had to and you had no other choice, I mean, you just do it. So this experience for me, like, I almost wish I could go back just to relive it. Knowing what I know now, I would have went all in. I got married when I was in the military and had a family and focused on that. But wish I would just went in 4 years and just focused on being badass. Because right now I see women fighter jet pilots and stuff, and that would have been sick. But I get motion sickness, so I probably wouldn't have been able to do that. But all these little girls growing up and stuff, like it's badass. Like that's something you guys should grow up to want to be. And with the president now, I think it's a safer time to join. I would have been scared before. Like my kids, I tell them, hey, you should join the military. Both of them have great careers right now, so they don't need it. But that's definitely an option for them. I think it would be a great experience for anybody to join. So, this episode, I just wanted to share some experiences from the military because I want people to get excited about joining. And you get to throw grenades and shoot guns and go to the field and train and meet new people from all over the world and just become a person that you would have never became if you didn't join the military. The stuff the military instilled in me is made me who I am today. And I don't know who I would have been if I didn't take that 7, 8 years in the military and go through the stuff I had to go through. Like in AIT, you have to wear these belts and they have like a canteen on it with water and some other stuff. And they tell everyone who's stationed there that you're in training and you're a newbie for them to stay away from. Well, me and my friends went out to the bowling alley, I think one weekend, and we took the belts off, hid them in the bushes, went in and had a good time, and then put them back on and went back to the barrack. Well, unfortunately, someone saw us and told on us. So our punishment was they filled up a sand volleyball court for 12 hours. And me and the two other girls had to go out there. I think it was like at 7 at night or 8 at night. I don't remember. But I remember low crawling, doing push-ups in the mud and the water, and tons of people watching us. And they did it for hours. And they did it to try and break us down. But I kind of looked at it. It was funny. It was like, try and make me not smile because this is fun to me. So the perspective I had in the military wasn't upset about it. I just leaned into it and tried to enjoy my time there and try to be the best I could, get the ranks as high as I can. And I really enjoyed it. People asked me why I didn't stay in. I was in for 8 years. Why didn't I stay to retire? 8 years is a long time. And even though the military was great and they're structured, they're stuck in their way. So I'd have a job tasked to me and I'd have a certain amount of personnel and a certain amount of time and the way they wanted me to do it. And so we did it. But I was like, God, I could use half the people and get this done twice as fast if we did it this way. But they don't want to hear a new way. The old way works. Stick with the old way. We don't need a new way. We don't need less people doing it. We got all you guys. And for me, I could do it, but that's just not a place I could land forever. I can't be in a place where I know I just have to do things how I'm told, that I can't think out the side of the box. I can't try and improve the situation. That's just not an environment that I want to be in for the rest of my life. So I did 8 years. I think that was long enough. I think I got the experience I needed out of it. I was only stationed on the East Coast, and I did go to Korea, Camp Carroll down in South Korea for a year. And that was another amazing experience. I actually lived off post and I shared a courtyard I rented from a little Korean family. It was an experience in his own. But one thing is, like, for that whole year, I didn't have a car. I didn't have a vehicle. I rode a bicycle, like a pedaling bicycle, not an electric bike. And I rode that bike around for that whole year. To do my laundry, I put a backpack on, my clothes in my backpack. I rode to the laundromat, did my laundry. To go grocery shopping, I took the backpack, did grocery shopping, put it in the backpack, rode my bike home. I was in really good shape that year just from riding that bike every. So that was another great experience that if I wasn't in the military, I would have never had it. So again, join the military if you don't know what you want to do in life. It was a great experience. It gives you something that civilians just will never understand. So if anyone wants to do it, I say be all you can be, join the military, and see you guys next time.